everyone, Evie here, the Greek goddess of great reading. Today I'll be reviewing Hex Hall, the first book in her Hex Hall series by Rachel Hawkins. On her 12th birthday, Sophie Mercer discovered that she was a witch. 3 bumpy years later, after a prom-night spell gone horribly wrong, she's exiled to Hex Hall, an isolated reform school for wayward Prodigium, a.k.a. witches, faeries, and shapeshifters. By the end of her first day, Sophie has quite a scorecard. 3 powerful enemies who look like supermodels, a futile crush on a gorgeous warlock, a creepy tagalong ghost, and a new roommate who happens to be the most hated person and only vampire on campus. Then, when a mysterious predator begins attacking students and Sophie's only friend is the #1 suspect, a horrifying plot begins to surface. Soon, Sophie is preparing for the biggest threat of all, an ancient secret society determined to destroy all Prodigium, especially her. So this book was like Harry Potter meets Mean Girls. It had the school like Hogwarts, Hex Hall, but it was actually a school unlike Hogwarts in that it was for Prodigium, which are witches, fairies, and shapeshifters, and other magical creatures. Those creatures have sort of done something bad in their normal lives, like expose themselves and their powers in order to end up at Hex Hall. And it's like Mean Girls because Sophie is like the Lindsay Lohan of the movie, and then there's 3 popular girls who want to hang out with her, but then there's some sort of conflicts that happen and they're mean to her. So it's kind of funny how those 2 worlds collided, and it was a really good book. There were 3 sort of categories of Prodigium at Hex Hall. There are witches, and warlocks fall under that umbrella as well, since they are just male witches. Then we have fairies, and then we have shapeshifters, which can include werewolves and any other individuals who turn into different animals. And there's a lot of snobbiness from certain categories and classes of people towards the other people who were different from them. I noticed the fairies really didn't like the shapeshifters, and some of the witches really didn't like anybody else. Nobody liked Jenna, who is Sophie's roommate, who is a vampire, so nobody likes her. Even the witches among them, there's 2 classifications of witches, white witches and dark witches. And the dark witches seem to think that the white witches aren't good enough for them and are not as powerful as them. So again, there's some sort of conflict between just the students in that regard, and there's lots of sort of little fights and spats that come up throughout the novel because of these differences. Sophie was a fun character. She's kind of just fumbling along through Hex Hall because she's new and she wasn't raised by her father, who is a warlock. She was raised by her mother, and her mother is human. So she doesn't know spells that well. She feels really different because her magic seems to be different from even all the other witches, and she just kind of feels like an outsider. So I guess it's appropriate that she got roomed with Jenna, the only vampire on campus, because they seem to be the 2 biggest outcasts in the school. But otherwise, I liked her struggle, and I like how she is constantly trying to one-up the 3 girls who are a coven of witches who don't like her and who are constantly being mean to her and picking on her and finding new ways and new spells to kind of torture her. There was a dance in this book, and it was almost like homecoming with magic. It was really fun how they were sort of preparing their dresses and their outfits in one of their classes beforehand, and that'd be really cool. That's something I would like to learn, is how to make really pretty awesome clothes with magic. I wouldn't really care about everything else. Sometimes I just get bored with my clothes and maybe my hair and makeup. I would love to have magic just to change those things, because that would be so much fun. And it was so much fun to read about Sophie trying to figure out how to make a beautiful dress to sort of outdo one of the other witches, who is called Elodie, I believe. Elodie? Like melody without the M. No, it's Elodie. What a bitch. There are so many potential villains in this book. There is this society called Locio de Dio. I think I'm saying that right. My Latin is not very good. But they are a society of almost religious fanatics that are trying to wipe out all Prodigium, and they are talked about in this book, and they could be a potential villain in the future series. There's also siblings from Ireland, I believe, the Braddock Family, and for some reason they have beef with Prodigium. I'm not really sure why, but maybe they'll get explored a little bit more throughout the novel, and we'll see what is going to happen with that. But I'm sure in book 2 and 3 that those villains I spoke about will probably make an appearance, and I'm excited to see how they will play into the series. So there were some love interests displayed. Obviously, she has a futile crush on a gorgeous warlock. It says in the plot summary of the book that gorgeous warlock would be Archer, who is actually Elodie's boyfriend. Already, no, you don't want to mess with her. I personally did not like him as a love interest, just because I really don't like those guys in books that kind of are mean to the girl and then the girl starts to like them. Why do you like a guy being mean to you? Why? I know he's probably just joking around with her and whatnot, but it seems almost like too much half the time, and I don't like it when boys do that. So Archer for me was not as swoon-worthy as maybe somebody else. Cal is a white warlock who is the groundskeeper at Hex Hall. He's like Hagrid to Hogwarts, but much cuter. And he heals people. He's called to action a few times in the book because his healing powers are needed. He's very powerful in that way, and he's described as very handsome and kind of rugged, kind of outdoorsy type, and he seems really nice, kind of soft-spoken and quiet, but nice, and that just was a better boy to be swooning over than Archer. So I vote for Cal. I don't know if he's going to get any sort of sway with any of the girls in the novel and in the upcoming books, but I would like to see more of him. My only sort of qualm with the book, and it's with the cover of the book. So there's a cat on the front, and while I love cats, and he's very cute, he's looking up like very cute cat, but Sophie does not have a cat, and even it says that she's allergic to cats in the book. So I don't understand why there's a cat standing there. It's my only thing. Why is the kitty there? Kitty shouldn't be there, that's all. So if you guys like Harry Potter, if you like Mean Girls, if you like the two of those combined together and you like the sound of that, I highly suggest you pick up Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins at a bookstore near you. You will not regret it. It is very fun and easy read, and I definitely want to pick up the next books in the series. The next book I'll be reading and reviewing is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in his new series about Norse mythology, and I'm really excited to read it and to review it for you guys. So keep an eye out for that review coming to you soon. My Twitter, Instagram, and website are linked in my bio below. Hit subscribe if you guys like what you see and want to see more videos by me. I'm Evie, the Greek goddess of great reading, and until next time guys, keep reading.